What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, back for more Ark Survival Ascended. And alright, we had the community crunch last night, which gave us the community creature vote and a little Astraeus update. We're actually not going to be covering the Astraeus update in this video. We're going to be specifically just covering the community creature vote and see what we got for our final 10 that we can all vote for. I'm going to be going over all of the 10 creatures as well, and this is just, I'm just going to slide down just to show you this really quickly. This is the little bit of the community crunch update that's coming. I'm sorry, the Astraeus update that's coming, and this is the community crunch here and the finalists. So we're going to start with the overview of the finalists here, and then we're going to set up our vote. This is going to be the link to both are going to be in my description, so you guys can actually take the time to look through yourself. Make sure you cast your vote, and make sure you absolutely put in whatever order you want, the specific order you want. And by that I mean, if you want the Arrow Titan to be number 2, better than the Coelophysis, make sure that's number 2. Your number 1 doesn't always just matter. I mean, it does, but every single number on this list actually matters. So let's go back over to the creature submissions and take a look. So we have the Cryodraken, which is a late Cretaceous period creature. So the Cryodraken, which is, I'm assuming, like a ice drake. Species Cryodraken Chion, time late Cretaceous. Diet opportunist carnivore. Temperament aggressive. Excuse me. Wow, it is strange to see pterosaurs flying around snow biomes while suffering these extremely cold temperatures. In the beginning, the wild survivors didn't believe in the tales about flying reptile with freezing breath until they saw a feathered group of pterosaurs creating a small snowstorm around a megalosaurus couple, freezing their victims with their freezing water breath. Okay, so it's kind of like it's water and it just freezes it because of the cold. Okay. In order to tame a Cryodraken, you must first hide from its keen thermal sense using a Fry Curie to obscure your heat signature and confuse it. When approached in this state, it will frantically flapping its wings, at which point you can feed it spicy fish cake or kibble to restore its strength, which once consumes spicy fish cake, the effects of the spicy food will kick in. After flapping its wings, it will release a burst of cold air that pushes you back slightly. You must run away before it notices you, and repeat the process over and over until it's fully tamed. Favorite foods are prime meat, jerky, and spicy fish cake. Okay, so it uses prime meat. And it can be used as like a cryo fridge, so it pretty much keeps things cold for you. So the height of it compared to a normal character, and this is right here, is the actual, let's zoom in a little bit here. Can I zoom in? Yeah, right there. That is the survivor height on average. That is what a Quetzal looks like to it. That is the Cryodraken. And that is the T-Rex roughly, and that's a Giga for comparison. So it's a relatively big creature. Do I feel like we need another big flyer? Probably. We could use one. There's a couple different, this is the ice covering, this is just normal. I mean, it looks really cool. The spicy fish cake is really cool as well, the way they made it. The saddle looks nice. And the nest. Okay, so it's a special nest for incubating their eggs only. Okay. I mean, they look really cool. Like I said, it's mainly just a mobile ice box. On me personally, I don't specifically think we need another ice creature, so that's going to stay right there for me. I don't think we need an ice creature at all at this moment, especially not in flyer form. As of right now, that's number 10 for me. That's not changing. So, Xenoceratops Thunderous. Whoops. Okay, so large exotic ceratopsian with the ability to use electricity for self-defense. I'm going to leave this up on screen. I'm not going to read everything fully every time. So it's about the same size as a T-Rex. Yeah, I don't think we need one of those. The wild Xenoceratops seems to have developed a cell that connects its specialized nervous system, allowing it to activate all the cells to activate at once on a certain impact, creating and storing powerful electricity in a burst. The reason behind such an ability is uncertain, but given the Ark's hostility, I realize and potential threats to their territory, with the electricity wielding power, allowing it to grow to a massive size, Xeno tolerates similar animals while ignoring larger ones. Okay, so it's kind of an aggressive, kind of not. So that it has 4 different tiers of electricity charge. You'll see it on the UI bar. So it's got an area of effect like that. Like I said, I'm not going to read over every single thing specifically. I'm just going to go over a little bit of them. You have to challenge it to a duel to tame. Alright, so I feel like we don't need another one of these challenge to duel things, so I'm putting that one down as number 9. I don't want that. That is not on my list of things I want. I'm tired of constantly running into these insane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These insane creatures that you need to do like 18 different things to tame. That stuff gets old really quick. So we got the giant stick bug. As I wandered through the forest, I got impressed that some logs were moving. Although I checked around, I didn't notice anything that's strange except for a log without leaves. As I approached these logs, I picked up what appeared to be a bark was actually a woody chitin. That could be interesting. From there, I realized it was a giant stick bug. Its gigantic size had not prevented it from perfecting its camouflage so much that it managed to become virtually indistinguishable from a tree to enemy prying eyes, even with the aid of a spyglass. So you won't be able to tell what it is with a spyglass. Okay? To bring it out in the open, you have to throw honey at it several times, but it's important not to be seen. Otherwise, it would avoid approaching. Once it is busy enjoying the honey, it's approaching to give it sap, its favorite food. I mean, that's common sense, it's a tree and sap. Unlike many other insects used exclusively more for this woody arthropod is able to climb any surface and float on water, mainly used for safe exploration. Its woody construction has the advantage of making it immune to bee stings, which allows it to be able to carry a hive on itself, thus being protected by the colony. What was most surprising to discover is that if it was fed enough secrets hemloaf, if it's fed enough, it secretes hemloaf, so it's pretty much just sap. It produces its own sap. As already mentioned in the dossier, tame sound, we have to throw honey at it to attract attention. It will come closer if you eat this if you do not look directly at it. So after throwing the honey, turn the other way and distance yourself enough so it can eat the honey. If you do not do this, it will close in on itself, pretending to be a tree. Repeat this until the honey icon fills up, which at point the stick bug will be blocked by the honey and will not be able to close in. Then you can approach it and feed it. Okay. Sap or sweet veggie cakes. Okay, you'll need to feed it as much as possible before it finishes digesting. That's interesting, so it's kind of passive tame. Not hard at all, really. So, let's see what some of the skills has. It can climb like a Megalania. It has mimicry, similar to the Motobotosaurus, probably what we just got. Pretty much you want to go unnoticed, so what you do, a hive collector and transporter. You can connect hives from domesticated queen bees and carry them on its back. Oh, so you could realistically, I know they said this earlier, but you could put a beehive on it and then just go around with it. That's interesting. When you carry this insect in the water, it floats like a canoe and does not consume stamina while swimming. It is unable to die, but will not be attacked by any aquatic animals, as it will be mistaken for a log or a boat. This will not save it from being attacked by lead sick bees. So it's not beneficial too much in the water. It can be only attacked by leads, which if you're going in deep sea, you're still going to be attacked anyway by leads, so it doesn't matter. So this is good for like short distance carrying. By scratching its exoskeleton, woody chitin is collected, an expiring organic material that can be collected either by scrathing wild and domesticated specimens or from its corpses. And Hemolife, which is an organic version of sap. So this one gives you sap and chitin pretty much. It also houses Archaeopteryx. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think you could make this thing fit in probably more towards the Redwood area. It's not my number one. I'll say that right now. It's not my number one. It's going to be my number 3 as of right now. But let's just see what else we got. Pentaceratops. More Triceratopses, dude. Alright, a few animals inspired such as the Pentaceratops. These towering herbivores are a sight to behold in the wild. They're rarely seen alone. This is massive ceratopsian often travels in groups. Let's see. How do you tame it? When attacked, the herd will turn to face their attacker, so pretty much like Trikes do now. Their front half is completely protected by their huge armored heads due to the thick keratin covering their skulls. They're practically immune to tranquilizer darts to the front. The only way to effectively put one of these large autopsians to sleep is to get behind them. Should a tribe succeed in taming one or even a group of these giant herbivores, they'll find their defensive capabilities unmatched. Tribes have been known to use their frills as living walls and marching shields, making them nearly immune to most forms of projectile. However, be sure not to underestimate their offensive potential. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to read absolutely everything over. I'm just going to try to cover most of it. So there's 2 different saddles. There's a normal saddle and a heavy armor saddle. We do need another herbivore, just a normal herbivore like that comment said below. Do I think this one is any better than the Thunderous Ceratops? I mean, possibly. I'm not going to say he's my number 2. He's going to be my number 4. So that does move the stick bug up a little bit. I'm going to keep stick bug at 3. But I don't think he's my number 1 yet. This is kind of what I was interested in. I really did see this one a while ago. This is the one I want the most, in my opinion, as of right now, and just a little bit I've read about these the past few weeks or days. While Arcody provides a large variety of theropod carnivores, none of them are Megaraptoroids. In my opinion, Megaraptorids, not roids, because they don't pop steroids. In my opinion, this might be an opportunity to include a beast capable of giving players a good scare, like ones we had back in the day and we were all naked beach bobs. Which is correct, we don't really have that super terrifying creature anymore that is absolutely, you need to fight it off. Like, normal raptors, cool. Now, what if Ark featured a horror-themed dinosaur referencing both the Night Feeder from Gendy Tarkatov's Primal and Lobo Death from Puss in Boots 2? Okay. What if you could craft a sort of primitive blades from Chaos from said dinosaur? I mean, like I said, I've only just looked at the picture. I haven't seen much into it, but this is kind of what I would be interested in getting, would be another, like, raptor-esque creature. Alright, let's see. In the wild, Megaraptor crawls on all fours, hiding in the shadows undetected by creatures and turrets. Players can partially see it, but the more distant, the less visible it gets. If you can see it, it's too late. The Megaraptor will pounce on you, giving you a literal jump scare. If you have a mount, it will run away in fear. Even if you survive the assault while afoot, you'll suffer hallucinations that will reduce your sight and hunt you with ghostly images of claws and jaws. So it's kind of like getting pounced on by a raptor, but then having the hallucinations of a mushroom at the same time. Okay, you won't be able to repel the Megaraptor weapon because it will dodge your blows and parry any projectile. The only tool that will help you is torches, flamethrowers, flame arrows to scare the Megaraptor away. Keep yourself close to campfires to stay safe from its ambushes. Fire sources heal your hallucinations at a faster rate as well. The only way to tame it is while facing a duel with its own weapons, sadly. So you have to kill one. It's another kind of not fun way to tame everything. I hate that. It's interesting that people can think of all these ways to tame them. But it's getting to the point where some of the taming methods are just absolutely annoying at this point. Like, some of the taming methods, you have to tame them with the wind blowing at 15 miles an hour from the south. The sun needs to be at a 65-degree angle, perfectly giving the shadow of a 2.5 square size of the normal dinosaur. And there needs to be just enough moisture in the air of like 78% humidity. Plus, you need to have 16 specific trank darts, can't be more, can't be less, and a 215% crossbow to be able to tame this guy. Like why? Why are we going so in depth for a creature? Just make it a taming creature. Knock out something like that. Like this, some of the stuff is just insane at this point. This one's not bad, but I'm just saying, like, some of them are just insane with some of the stuff they do. You don't fight it with this, you fight it with arrows. Creates rate of fire by hitting enemies. You can grab it and hold left mouse button. Gives a wounded, and then it gets a blood trail to chase it. I mean, it looks really cool. It's definitely gonna be my number 1 as of right now. I'm very interested to see where it goes from here. It's my number 1 because I definitely want it to be a number 1 for me. So we've got so far our 1, 3, 4, 9, and 10. So we were about halfway through the creatures. What is the Tantrosopius? That is interesting. What is that? Tanistrophilis. I can't pronounce names. I am not a name pronouncer. Okay, the sniper scope is attached to the saddle. I like that. Unveils one player wearing fully ghillie armor, gives the same effect to Tanny. That's the ghillie mantle, which is this here, so it blends in. Tame method: kill any type of flying bird and present it to the wild to eat. Tanny will then find a clear space and ichthyosaurs orange will appear for you to help Tanny shooting out of the sky. Only keep the same effective if either long neck or sniper rifle is used. Okay, so it's like a duck hunt. That is kind of interesting. That's not terrible. It's still another one of those really long taming methods, what I was just complaining about. Do I believe we need different taming effectivenesses? Yes. But do I also believe that some of them are getting a little far? Yeah, too. So, I mean, this one doesn't seem bad. The Megaraptors wasn't bad either, but some of them are just getting out of hand. Normal attack, biotoxin, chitin, armor-piercing shots, and Bile. So it's kind of similar to the Amargasaurus with long-range attacks kind of thing. Like, the Amargasaurus' one for taming was nuts. Like, you need to have a specific food. And then you have to feed it a certain creature, and like all that other... Yeah, it was a little too much for me. I'm interested. Like I said, I'm going to leave the links in the description if you guys really want to cover it yourself a little more and read it. I'm just going to go over little bits and pieces of each. That is the Tanistropatosaurus is what it was? Yeah, right here. I'm actually going to move that one to our number 2. I do like that one. I like the way it is. I like the fact that it's kind of like Notosaurus slash Diplodocus. I think it's Diplodocus, the long-necked one. Diplo, I'm just going to call it the Diplo. And you could pretty much use it as an aggressive creature. This one is the Desmatoccus sucus. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Gordomandi. Introducing the Desmatoccus to Vulgara. Stranger will help get rid of any aerial threats, speed up taming, and help produce crops. So the produce crops thing is interesting to me. It must like food. It has a anti-air artillery unlocked at 70 and a tech saddle that you unlock probably late in the game. It's a subterranean creature, so it can go under. Has a tech railgun saddle. Can till soil and make dirt mounds which act as large crop plots. That's interesting. That is nice. I do like that. That it can make you like its own little crop plots around your base. So you can really get rid of crop plots entirely. But I wonder what the greenhouse effect is. Desmato has an AoE passive buff called Gourmand's Feast, which drains the hunger of any crawled creature you're taming by 15% faster. It also helps taming effectiveness when using lower quality foods. Okay, so that is actually interesting. If you tame one of these, right, they use the same raptor saddle design. So pretty much if you tame this guy, right, and you end up going in and trying to tame, let's say, a Therizinosaur, because everybody here knows how long it takes a Theri to tame with mango berries. This guy, if you can find a max level and have one of these, using its Gourmand's Feast passive buff, you'll tame it 15% faster, and your taming effectiveness will be higher. Instead of getting like an 85-80 because you're using mango berries, or 90, whatever it is, there's a chance you will get closer to like 95 to 100 or the max taming effectiveness. That's really cool. Much like Purlovia or Basilisk, they can burrow, I'm sorry, and they're about the size of a Stego. That's not bad. I do like this one. This one might actually take the number 2 spot, honestly. That one's definitely going to take the number 2 spot right now. I'm not even going to finish doing that one. We're going to put him at number 2. Going to move the stick bug down to 4. So that's interesting. Taming can be found in the tundra, jungle, and chalk cliffs. I do like this because they're right next to the Deinosuchus. Okay, you have to find where it's in the ground to present it with a mayo, vegetable, or honey to direct attention. Sniff out, consume that. After that, you'll be unburying. You'll have to passively feed it, much more like a moss chop. So want different things, ranging from berry, vegetable, honey, or not request kibble, and will not request the same thing twice. Yeah, I definitely do like this one, and I like the gun aspect on its back. I do like that. I really do like that. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to put that one where it's at. Actually, that one may move up a spot. Oh no, that's staying right there, the Desmatoccus. After I've gotten through all the creatures, I'm going to do a couple of changes, but I think this is going to be my my vote right here. So, let's move on to the Coelurosophalus. We're down to our final 3. Oh, excuse me, my nose. The Coelophysis, Assassin Shoulder Pad, and Mutation Booster. That is interesting to me. I'm going to have to click in and read this. Wow, the Coelurosophalus midens is a little scoundrel hiding behind a cute appearance. This clever opportunist always goes after the weakest target possible, and when I act in groups... where did I see that? And they act in groups. They dare target bigger prey, as long as it's weak and vulnerable. When a creature is small enough, Coelurosophalus is deemed to kill it, wraps its thick tail around its victim's neck and strangles it after sneaking behind the target. Moreover, killing one can be tricky due to its ability to regrow its lost tissues like a lizard. Could any be more mischievous? So it pretty much heals itself. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else down here. Constrict players and ignore your armor. Has special armor allowed to be remotely controlled by a player. Can pass by turrets, alarming the creatures. Can find pathfinding to get through its target. Okay. Can control with a whistle to attack with skilled combos. Boost mutations of specific stats and grant unique glowing colors to creatures. Okay, so that's just that image. Okay, so let's just see the taming really quickly, and that'll make my decision on where I want to put it. Because if they're having this thing to be able to be completely undetectable in Assassin and be able to give you mutation buffs, it's kind of interesting. This may move this up to my 4 or my 5. Goal level for this bridge worth insane. You have to knock out a large wild creature to the point where the koala can kill it. Okay, so this one isn't terrible. So you pretty much just want to knock out, like, that was the Koalosophis, I think? Yes. You would have to knock out like a Bronto or something. That is definitely going to put him above of the Stick Bug. The Stick Bug has just been falling down on my list. Right now, I really do think the Mega Raptor's probably not number 1 anymore. I honestly would think that's my number 2, behind the Desmotocus. That completely takes that advantage, because just of the added abilities you get from it. This guy might move up a little more. He's definitely on that list. Alright, the cheetah. Primitive cheetah. Okay. It's got a debuff vertigo, passive mechanics blitz boost. So it's pretty much like the Ceratosaurus with its running. Okay. It's got very quick movement. You can jump up walls. What's the taming process? Prime meat. Okay. So you toss down the prime meat, it throws towards you. You need to kill creatures that drop prime meat. Okay, so this one is interesting. I like this one. The cheetah, you are definitely going to go up here. You're above the Stick Bug. Because we do need another cat, because we don't really have anything good. We have the Sabertooth, which is kind of mid. And I'm counting the Daeodon, or not the Daeodon, Hyaenodon and everything as part of that list. It's kind of mid too. And I think we definitely need to go with the cheetah a little higher. If it's right where I put it, probably, in my opinion. And now to the last one, the Arrow Titan. This is where it's weird. Like, I do agree that we need a new one of these. A new flyer. Definitely a high-level flyer. But it needs to be fast. It needs to be fast, it needs to be agile, and it needs to be really, really good. Let's see. It spawns in the snow area, the tundras, cold forests. Okay, let me see what its taming ability is. Tame method. Tame this, but deflect its wind slaps to get him grounded, then feed it, repeat the process. So pretty much you're gonna wanna like net gun it down to the ground if you can, and then build a trap around it, and then do stuff like that, because this is gonna be a pain. Definitely gonna be a pain to do. So no, he's actually gonna go down one more to the bottom. I don't like that idea. That's just drawing extra stuff that is completely unnecessary on a creature like that. Like these things, unless if they make it easier than it actually sounds, trying to slap the wind back at it, like how are you gonna do that? I don't. That to me. Oh, you can. It's cool that you can do it as a taming ward and use it to protect it, but it's still the way the taming of it is not interesting to me. So this is going to be our list at the moment. We're going to go with the Desmotocus, Gormandi as our number 1, the Mega Raptor as our number 2, the Taniceroptis as our number 3, Koalophasis as our number 4, which the Taniceroptis is the sniper, the 4 is the mutation one, and the cheetah is 5. I was tempted with the Stick Bug, but I really don't think we need Kite that much. It's not that hard to get in most cases. And Sap, just put a Tree Sap tap up, or if you have gotchas at that point in time, you can pretty much get everything. So this is going to be our list to vote, guys. Let me know in the description in the comment section what you guys chose to vote for. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys back here later for some more Ark Survival Ascended. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys then. Oh, real quick, just press submit, and that sends your vote in. Just wanted to make sure that I specified how to do it. Thank you guys. See you guys then.